Number patterns, question 4. Input-output number patterns. Now here we have a table which is called input-output table. So on this side we have all the inputs, and on the right side of this table we have outputs, right? So that is called an input-output pattern. Pattern of getting output from given input. So if input is 1, output is 1 here. If input is 2, output is 3. If input is 3, output is 5, and so on, right? So what are you supposed to do here? Question number 1A is complete the table below. So this is the table, right? So fill in these values. So that is the first thing you have to do. So while I am discussing, you can copy the table and complete it, right? Part B. Describe the input-output pattern. You have to describe how do you get 7 from 4? How do you get 5 from 3? How do you get 3 from 2? Or how do you know the output if you know the input? That means from 5, how can you get the output, right? C is write the pattern rule in 2 different ways. So there are different pattern rules here. Figure out which one you want to write. Depending on your skill set, you can write down so many pattern rules here. For example, very simple. Pattern rule of inputs. Increase by 1 each time. Pattern rule of outputs. Add 2 each time. Start at 1, add 2 each time. And the pattern rule of getting output from input. That is the one which is most required and is asked in part B. Part D is find the 10th and 50th term. Once you know the pattern rule, you can find 10th and 50th term. So that is an exercise for you which you should do at the end of this, right? Now, the thing which I am going to describe here is part B. That is, describe the input-output pattern. How do you get it? It is the most difficult part and challenging. Now, here is a trick which helps you to do it. So how do you get 3 from 1? Add 2, right? 3 minus 1 is 2, either way. So what we see here is that to go from 1 to 3, what should we do? We should add 2. Similarly, from 3 to 5, we should add 2. 5 to 7, we should add 2. So if I go to the next term, what should I do? Add 2 and get here, right? So 7 plus 2 is 9, so I get 9. How about this? Add 2. 9 plus 2 is 11, I get this. How about this? 11 plus 2 is 13. So that is how you get your outputs. But the question here is, how do you get from 3 to 5? This is a big question, which we don't know how to answer. How do you get 7 from 4? That is another big question, right? In that case, you can get what do you get from 50 to what? That is what we need to answer, and that is question part B. Describe the input-output pattern. So let's see how. So what we will use here is this number 2 is called common difference. So we find common difference. Common difference. So what is the common difference here? Common difference is plus 2. Is plus 2, right? That plus 2 is key. Okay, now second thing I'll tell you to do. What is 2 times 2 equals to? It's common difference. We'll multiply input. This is our input. 2 times 2 is 4. How do you get 3? 4 minus 1 is 3. Good. What is 3 times 2 equals to? 3 times 2 equals to 6. How do you get 5? Minus 1. 6 minus 1 is 5. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 minus 1 is 11. So we have a rule, correct? So we will use this rule. And the rule is input times common difference, which is 2. And in this case, it was minus 1 is equals to output. So that is how we get our rule. Does it work? Let's check it. Let's check with 6. So 6 times 2 is 12. And 12 minus 1 is 11. So for 6, do we have 11? Yes, we do. Do you see that? Yes, we do. And then for 50, what should be the answer? 50 times 2 is 100. And what is 100 minus 1? 99. So here we should have 99. Do you see that? Can you tell me the answer for 10th term? For the 10th term, it should be 10 times 2, which is 20. And then minus 1 will give us 19. So that is the answer for 10th term. Do you see that? So I gave you answers for all the questions. You're supposed to do it once again on your own in a clean notebook, right? And then move on to the next question. Do the same thing for all these 10 questions. Okay? Thank you.